Yusune, 27 years old. These two are certainly much more experienced than the previous two, 18 and 19 years old in the first semi-final, 26 and 27. Sayaka's 26-year-old. But most importantly, in the world rankings, it's Sayaka Hirano that's up at 10. There she is in the world. She's a very focused girl and quite scary when I first saw her. I remember seeing her Sapporo several years ago, and I thought, my goodness, she really does try to psych out the opposition. She looks at them, she's calmed down a little bit and certainly has moderated her the way in which she plays, but it was quite frightening when we first saw her. Yunsune, again, her style is obviously very, very Korean in appearance. Her success rates have been moderate. Earlier this year in Brazil, she got to the quarterfinals, and also in Poland, she got to the semi-finals of the Pro Tour. She had more success in the doubles, getting the semi-final of the Korean Open in the women's doubles. That was just a month ago. So she will really be very, very positive about her chances here. She beat the youngster Su Hui Sun of Chinese Taipei very easily. It was an 8-6, 4 and 6 demolition of a Chinese Taipei opponent. Couldn't cope with this extraordinary chopping defense, and then immediately into forehand, a very, very aggressive forehand attack when she's needed. Sayaka Hirano likes to stay forward at the table, and will certainly be trying to upset the balance of the defender. And checking out the equipment here, and the equipment very, very important, obviously, in the whole game. The gluing thing has been sorted out now, with the kind of rubbers. There's anytime there's a contact with the ball, obviously there is an issue over the kind of equipment's being used, and no advantages seem to be obviously seen. Soranai again on the chest there, and I think, quite honestly, Hirano will be the favourite, but you never know in this environment where they have certainly very different styles of play. You'll see this ball so often. Her natural inclination on receiving the service will be to drop back a pace, go back off the table. And of course, the ambition is to try and put the opposition off by making that ball very, very heavily undercut. And it is tough for a very aggressive player to get speed on the ball and good contact to get the top spin away if she's constantly having to cope with the different angles on the chop spin. The way it's coming at her from the spin off the table. But as I said before, she really impressed in the quarterfinals against Su Huitsun, and it wasn't just a question of standing back and waiting for the opponent to make mistakes. She was very aggressive as well. So a mix of play, as you'd expect from this talented player, Sun A. 59th ranked in the world, and that's her highest. It's her first entry. She's actually been playing in the ITTF Pro Tour since way back in Brazil in 2005, where she got to the quarterfinals in the doubles. She won the Australian Open in 2010. So in a way, she also won the New Zealand Open back in 2006. So 5 years difference there. I'm talking about Yun Sun in the yellow top there. In terms of Hirano's performance on the Pro Tour, well, she was runner-up in Morocco just last week. She was a winner in Spain in 2011. That was earlier this year. Quarterfinals, loads of them. She was also a winner in India 2010 and in Germany 2009. A winner in Serbia way back in 2006. So very talented young player. Sayaka Hirano will serve. and a couple of service points robbed there by Yun Sun-ae. She's now got the service herself at 2-0. Oh, right on the edge and ooze all around this stadium. But you'll see she is, well, she's a little bit lucky there, but she has got a very, very determined and focused face. There you go. The chopper wins that one. That was the first big test. Yun Sun-ae happy to just keep that ball floating and frustrating. And then comes forward, and that's really, really interesting. I tell you what, Hirano is going to have to look very, very quickly at the options here. They've played twice before. That was, in fact, last month in the Korean Open, and Sayaka was the winner, 4-2. They also played prior to that in the Spanish Open, and Hirano went on to win that tournament and en route beating Yun 4-0. So it's 2-0 in the head-to-heads to the Japanese girl. But having played each other so recently this year, they will certainly have a plan. And right at this moment, that plan for Sun-ae, it looks as if it's working. It's 5-2. Even now, she is looking daggers at her opponent, trying to catch her eye. That was a good 3-shot attack. Excellent service, and then right into the corner, forcing the error. An apologetic hand is raised by Yun. Well, I'm sure she'll be delighted with the result of it. Yeah, a really good rally and well fought through by Sayaka Hirano. She wasn't tempted to come up with too much aggression. She just played that almost sort of lobby loopy kind of top spin. There wasn't much speed on it until the last. There's another one. There you go. And okay, Sun-ae wins that little battle. It's fascinating, isn't it? It's great to see a defender against an attacker. It's a whole new ball game. Very, very different. It's a whole different set of challenges here. Sayaka, she would prefer, I'm sure, to play against an attacker. Aha! Now she turned it, because the ball was under the table. I don't think Sayaka picked it, but it was, this one was very, yeah, it was flat. In fact, loads of side. Look at the side spin on that. Unbelievable. Superb shot from Yun, and she is having an excellent opening in this semi-final. Sayaka's struggling to cope with this variation of attack. This time it just cut back on her a little bit. There are nuances within the ballets that are very difficult to spot. But look, that one hurried on a little bit. And that one was edge to edge as well. Yeah, she took far too much time. Let it drift past her too far. It is a major, major problem. It comes down very, very steeply from that chop. Sayaka tried to put too much power on it, failed. The angle was not good. Yeah, there you go. It's much too low. And then when she goes for power again, she misses it off the edge of the table. And this is a very good first game for Yoon Sun-ae. Yeah, she'll be delighted with this. It's not match point, it's game point. The graphic is incorrect. Game point. She missed that one, turned a really, really good opportunity there, and she doesn't miss those very often. When she decides on that aggressive forehand, she normally is very accurate. 7-10. Oh yeah, good stuff, yeah. She changed it from a chop into a flatter. If anything, there was a bit of topspin on that one as well, and that really surprised Hirano. So she is being caught out by some very, very clever play by Sun-ae. Yeah, there you go. There was a bit of topspin on it, and Hirano could not cope. So first game in favor of the Korean, Yoon Sun-ae, 11 points to 7. Points to 7 in the first to Yoon Sun-ae, and it was a very, very clever piece of strategy. The chop most often, but on third, fourth, fifth shot in the rally, she was mixing it up with some topspin as well, and it makes a really, really big difference. And although she's won twice already this year, Sayaka Hirano has been given a lot of problems here. It's 1-0 to the Korean. Yeah, it was a good rally, but this time Sayaka Hirano had the patience to continue with her strategy. That was very, very good. She was being drawn into a lot more aggression in that first game, and I think her coach will say, just stay with it, stay in the rally. That's better. That was much better. Once she gets on the attack and gets that position in the center, putting it into the body, forcing her opponent back. Yeah, that was a really, really good couple of points there in this second game. And then changing her perspective, Yoon misses the table. So at 0-4, Hirano is fighting back here. You need the concentration, you need the patience. And it's always tempting to try to get on the attack early, but Yun sticks to her game plan there and wins the point again for 4-1. And now 5-1, 1-5, 5-1. Fabulous, superb, absolutely magnificent rally. That just shows Sayaka Hirano has changed her attitude and approach as well. Okay, she apologized for catching the edge there, but she really deserved that point. It was fantastic. 6-1. And now another super serve as well. That's a much, much better performance in the second game. Yeah, it's working. The strategy, the tactic is working. She's choosing the moment. The shot options are much better. Yun is now being overwhelmed in the second game. Well, she's got so much invested in the bank already. Just the odd miss won't matter. It's she's in total control of this game. And again, it's the patience that pays off. Loses a couple of points and then doesn't need much to get through this game. Well, that side chop receiving of the serve didn't work. It was a very strange point, that. 10-4, 16 points. Yeah, clever again from Yun. She's certainly not to be underestimated. She's got so much variety to her play. (6-10). Oh, she took the edge. Yeah, it was there at 7-10. Ooh, it was close. Big smile and apology as well. But it was, again, patience was the name of this game. And that was yeah. In fact, she claimed it before it was given. 7-10, still 3 game points. Hirano. That's it. That is it, 11-7, and the Japanese crowd supporters celebrate that one. They've already got one of their team through. Ishikawa's already through to the final, though it'll be just a question of who will join her. Will it be the Korean or will it be Hirano? It's 1-1 in games, and Hirano actually played that much better. Tactically, it was very impressive. So third game coming up then, and Sayaka Hirano will be much, much happier with her performance during that game. She managed to attack more. She put the ball into positions which are much more difficult for Yun to get close to, and that was a certainly a more confident performance all round. It's 1-1 in games then, the second semi-final of the women's singles here in Santiago. It's a fine line between being aggressive and being able to play that aggressive shot. Very, very tough. And there you go, exactly that, although there was more of a loop attempt. Sun Ai putting a lot of action on the ball. There, and the ball stopped, you see. That was better. Wow, that's a wild shot from Hirano. She's getting a little bit tense. The Korean is finding a way to upset her balance and rhythm a little bit. It's always good, isn't it, having a chopper, a defender involved in a match. There's a lot of interest in that. Poor service from Hirano. She's under a bit of pressure here, you can tell. Yeah, she can take nothing for granted. Yun Sun-ai turns her natural defensive stance into an attack. A flat drive does not work. It's 2-4. She does make those shots very, very often. Given half a chance, she'll come forward and really try to stamp her authority with an attack, or a counter-attack at least. And again she tried it, turned round to the coach. He's nodding approval, saying, yep, that's what you got to do. Mix it up. Third, fourth, fifth shot of the rally. Try to come, particularly if it goes to center table. Wow, that was good defending. The majority of the shots in that rally by Yun were on the backhand side. There were a couple then under the table from the forehand. And the second one worked well. It's 5-3. 3-5. And again, the body shot there works well. It requires a lot of great timing. You can't take it for granted because that ball pops up high that you're going to get it. Good work from Hirano. And then she misses an easier shot. Center table. Korea have this service now at 6-4. Oh yeah, now that is absolutely superb. I told you, you can count them almost. 5, 6 shots, and if it's down the middle of the table, she'll run around it onto her forehand and give it everything. Very, very impressive. She's missed 2 of them in a row, but this time she picks up the third one. And by golly, look at the score. It's 7-4. Good effort here. Sun Ai looking to take the lead once again in the games. But that is great angle, and this is shaping up to be a fabulous battle. It's not just two the individuals against each other, it's two styles of plays. Japan v Korea doesn't get any better or closer than that. They love to play against each other. They're the greatest of foes. And Korea have so often overcome Japan, but there's a whole crop of new youngsters coming through. And I must say the Japanese ambitions are very, very big indeed. Yeah, you can see Hirano celebrating that big clench of the fist. And now gets it back to 7-all, and that is a really good fight back. She was struggling a little bit, but now that aggression is paying off, and a lot of it is into center table. Great stuff. That is absolutely brilliant play from Sayaka. Yeah, she knew exactly what she was doing. You can see she's so focused, so concentrated. Excellent, 7-8. Sun-A still hanging, well, not just hanging in here, she's really competitive in this third game. 1-all in games. Ah, that's a rally that had everything. Superb play by both these girls. That was fantastic. There were loops, there were lobs, there were drives, there was some really, really aggressive top spins. Great undercutting backspin on the both sides, backhand and forehand. Excellent work. Hirano 9-8. And now at 10-8, and she's just catching Sun-A off balance a little bit, forcing him into the backhand side, and she's not managing to cope at the moment. But down the center, and that forehand is coming to her rescue this time. Still 1 game point left for Hirano. This has been an excellent game, very, very competitive. Sun-A, the Korean, started out really well, kept the lead for most of it, but now she's facing game point again, 9-10 against her. And that's it, it's 11-9, and what a fight back. 1 game down for Hirano at the opening, and then she leveled things but dropped off the pace a little bit, but Sun-A could not take advantage, and it's because Sayaka Hirano has won some very, very crucial points in that third game that she sees herself in a position of being 2-1 up in this semi-final, the second semi-final of the women's singles. Listening intently now to the coach, but I must say she adapted her game brilliantly when she was under significant pressure. Look at that, the lobs. Now a little bit more of a drive topspin. She wins the point, the final point there for the game. Great work. Very impressive. There's a lot of Japanese supporters in this crowd here, I can tell you. Really enjoying themselves. Very respectful, listening hard, intently and adapting her game accordingly, improvising well, and it is a really, really good matchup. I hope you're enjoying this wherever you are in the world. Watching on ITTF, ITTV, of course. And well, the innovation on having the Pro Tour coverage so extensively has been really appreciated, I know. It's the power play, looking at the wings, and at the moment it's Hirano who's flying. It's 1-0, 0-1. Just a little bit too excited over that one, but her whole demeanor has changed. Since that first game, she was under pressure, couldn't quite cope, but don't forget that she is 2-0 up in the head-to-heads this year alone, so the Japanese should take a lot of confidence out of that position. With that one, it's 2-all in the fourth. Sune has really got to now assert some authority. Yeah, good flat blocking defense from Hirano. As I said many times already, Sune cannot resist that counter-attack forehand. And I think Hirano's read it well now. Aha! Well, it came a bit earlier in the rally this time, but the blocked backhand for Hirano couldn't work. It's 3-all. Take a towel down at 6. A combination of 6s, of course, on the scoreboard. Yeah, that was really, really excellent from Sune. So predictable. She was edging to come forward, and that ball just dropped. That loop forehand from Hirano just dropped a little bit shorter, and Sune took full advantage, driving it in with that forehand. Excellent play for 5-3. Oh, immediately Hirano comes up with a cracking forehand of her own down the line. 5-4. Yeah, didn't quite get up enough to play that so fast from Hirano, but it is a fascinating battle. Well, this is going to be a big point here, because if Sune takes a 4-point lead, I doubt that she's going to be caught in this fourth game. Hirano will take the serve, 4-7. Yeah, good placement. Excellent accuracy from Hirano to put it wide. Look at this next ball. It's the one into this corner nearest us. There, very good. It was a vital point that she should win that. Hirano. Again, deceived by a more side spin and chop there. Well, she was tempted. Hirano set it up for her. It went a little bit wider, kept going wide, and although Sun-Ai thought she had it covered, her foot movement was not great enough to take advantage. They're back within one now, 7-8. Oh, and she went for broke there again. Given the temptation by Sayaka, she took it, but failed, and it's now at 8-all, and that will be a timeout called by Yun Sun-Ai. And she is very frustrated. She had a really solid lead. She had a 7-4 advantage, and I was talking about picking up the most important point would have been to go to 8-4. It's 8-all in this fourth game. And suddenly her strategy has just let her down a little bit. So timeout was called and now completed by Yun Sun-Ai, and we'll see whether or not Hirano can get this one through. Obviously, the mark of a good timeout is whether or not your player can win the next point. She's got the service, so it's 8-all. Timeout complete, and Yun will serve. Oh, wow. I thought it would come back on her own side. She's got another chance. It's 8-all. And she went for it again. It's the third time that Yun Sun-Ai has missed that forehand attacking shot, and it could be very expensive, that. 8-9. And she's missed it once again. Well, you have to say that Yun Sun-Ai, the Korean, has just blown her chances here. I believe at a 7-4, she should never be in this position. 6 points to 1 in favor of Hirano. Most of them have been on Yun's mistakes. Lucky. Very, very lucky. It almost sat on the top of the net there, like a piece of washing out to dry. Look at it up there, and almost came down on the opponent's side. But it's still 1 game point still left for Hirano. Great defensive work, followed up with the attack, and then Hirano takes the fourth game for a 3-1 lead, but that was, I'm afraid, Yun Sun-ae throwing it away. She had great opportunities throughout that match to convert it and level things at twos. She tried to play too aggressively. It's not a natural style. She can put that in occasionally with those attacks from the forehand side, but she missed at least 4 of them, and that was a gift for Sayaka Hirano to take the game. It's 3 games to 1. Well, it could be an all-Japanese final if this game goes the way of Hirano. There's no doubt at all that she has had the better and more consistent performance. Oh, it took the edge, but was it the side? It was called good. It was a nod from the assistant umpire there, and Yun Sun-ae takes the point. It was an absolute cracker. Just watch this. Superb attacking shots by Hirano, but in fact it looked like Hirano was claiming the point. It has been given. Yeah, I thought so. It was certainly on the side. I don't think that there was an edge there. It was definitely the side of the table, which means Hirano picks it up. And Yun Sun-ae, I think she's blown her chances, you know. I know I'm being a little bit preemptive, but she's had a chance, and Hirano's just been a bit more consistent. And now, even there, being more clever, there's more guile with her play. And again, it's that forehand, that counter-attack. She's so used to defending, and she has played it brilliantly, beautifully, on many occasions. But on this semi-final, it's not working for her. Oh, what a point. Fabulous, quick hands, both sides, backhand and forehand. And Sun-ae wins a really, really good battle. Crowd really appreciating the standard of play here. It's very, very impressive. And wow, what a shame there for Hirano. She was in excellent position to take advantage. Everything there was correct, but she pushed it into the net. So Sun-ae with another chance at 3-4, still hanging in there by fingertips. And that's the one that will work. You know, when it comes onto a forehand side of the table, the forehand quarter of the table, she's in a much better position. That one down through the center, she really gave it a huge amount of forehand drive on that. Good work for 4-all. Well, nothing could be taken for granted here, that's for sure. Sune just hanging in, just about. And she gets another big one down the middle, using her feet much better. Watch the foot position here, gets into great shape, and then absolutely gets shoulder, hips and everything into that one. 5-all. Oh, that's a great recovery. That forehand recovery from Yun Sune really surprised her opponent. Again, there was more of a block about, it was underneath the lowest part of the bat. Did well. And I think we will get it's just a timeout, just a towel down, not a timeout. To 12, but Sayaka Hirano just struggling a little bit to keep control of this fifth game. She's got the serve at 5-7. Oh, and that's a real big mistake. That could be crucial. This match is not absolutely done and dusted. Doesn't come any better, Korea v Japan. And the Koreans certainly don't know when to say, I give up. I don't think it's in the language. And that is now 10-5 from 5-all. That's extraordinary. Hirano loses her touch, loses her momentum, and she's now got 5 game points against her. That's one less. Oh, it caught the table, and now that's 2 less. Still 3 to make up. But from that angle, you see, that's very different from the previous time when it was side table. That was coming from the top of the table, which obviously means if you take the edge, you take it, that's it, that's fine. Wow, and again Yun Sune tries to change it from the chop to a flatter bat. She's still got 2 game points. She shouldn't be losing too much concentration here. It's still a chance here. And that's it, it's 11-8, and it's a 3-2 in favor of Sayaka Hirano. So, again, I say a fascinating battle. Yun comes through in that one because Hirano had a really bad and poor patch in the middle. From 5-all, it went to 10-5, but eventually it was 11-8 in favor of the Korean. So this is developing into a very, very impressive match. Yoon Sun-ae, the 27-year-old from Korea, ranked 59 in the world, is putting up a big battle against Sayaka Hirano, number 10 in the world, and multi-champion in pro tours. It's defender against chopper, against attacker, and occasionally with Sun-ae coming through with a very, very impressive forehand like that. I mean, from nowhere. Great angle, we saw that shot for 1-0. And now for 2-0. It's got a 7th game written all over this one. Yeah, this time that forehand, when it does stick and when it is accurate, it's dynamic, isn't it? It pops up down the middle and she really gives it everything. That windmill arm swings through. And again, it's working again, isn't it? Isn't that extraordinary? She had so much success with that in the quarterfinals against Su Hui-sun. And now she's got the rhythm back and it's making such a difference and it's putting pressure on Hirano. Very exciting match this. Great tactical and strategic planning going on. Good serve. Again, just when Yoon thinks she's getting away, Hirano drags her back. It's 4-all. Oh, and she tried to take it too early. Very much a half volley. Yeah, tried to take it too early on the bounce and missed. It's 4-5, 5-4. Oh dear, it's a wild final shot there from Hirano. Again, you need to really keep focused. That concentration is so important in this kind of match. It's not just the accuracy, it's outfoxing the opponent. Cat and mouse stuff. Well, we've had sequence of 2 points on every occasion so far. It's gone 2-0, 2-all, 4-2, 4-all, 6-4. Now, and now 6-all. It's quite extraordinary. It's gone in double wins throughout this match so far. Double sequences. They've all gone to serve. There's another one continuing that at 7-6. And now it's 6-8. That is an extraordinary sequence. You don't see that very often. Every single point has gone to service. Let's see whether or not Hirano can keep that, maintain that situation. 6-8. No, it's gone now, so that's 9-6. And as I mentioned earlier, it certainly looks like we're going to go to 7. She's missed it. It's 10-6. So with the service now, Yun Sun-ae could push it into a 7th game, a final game. And what a great semi-final it's been. Fantastic entertainment for the crowd here, and I hope you at home as well. Not yet. 10-7. She's missed that one. It's 8-10. A little bit of a towel down here, just the excuse to break some momentum. It's not done and dusted yet. Yes, Hirano could still come back in it. She's got 2 serves. And now 1 serve required at 9-10. Another super fight back. Hirano 3 points in a row. 9-10, still game point to Sun-ae. And that's it, it's 11-9. We will go to a 7th. It is 3-all in the semi-final of women's singles. Well, the final moments of this semi-final of women's singles here in Chile, in Santiago, the Olympic Entertainment Center. A most glorious winter's sunny day outside, but I tell you what, the heat is very much on here. One 0 to Hirano. And now at 1-all. And I tell you, this is really going to go right down to the wire. Yun Sun-ae is putting a great show together here. It is an extraordinary shot there from Yun Sun Ai. We've seen it so often before, but I must say that when it comes at such a very important time in the match, that's very impressive. It's 3-2. Hirano still in the lead. And she caught the edge there. And a 4-2, 2-4 now, but Hirano just managed to keep her nose in the lead. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So our most important time then in this match, this semi-final here in Chile. And it's Yun with the service and with the lead at 8-7. It's the 7th game. And it's a fascinating battle that's continuing to be intriguing. Yun Sun-ae has kept her patience, kept her nerve, and has crawled back into this match and is now 2 points away from a very, very impressive victory here in the semi-final in Chile. 59th ranked in the world against the current ranked number 10, and Hirano will serve 7-9. And now it is 3 match points to Yun Sun-ae of Korea. An extraordinary turnaround. Sayaka Hirano has been turned inside out by this very, very impressive play from Yun Sun-ae. She's mixed up her defensive chopping with some extraordinary attacking forehands as well. 3 match points to Korea. She's got it and raised her hands in triumph, and Yun Sun-ae has come back from the dead. She was 3-1 down, and she has fought back to win the semi-final here in Chile by 4 games to 3. A very, very impressive performance by Yun Sun-ae, and the defender, the chopper from Korea, has overcome her nemesis. They've played 3 times now, and on the first of 2 previous occasions this year, it was Sayaka Hirano that has won it. But on this occasion, here in Chile, in Santiago, it's Yun Sun-ae that has won it by 4 games to 3. Very, very impressive. Congratulations to her. She will play in the final against Ishikawa, Kasumi Ishikawa of Japan, in the final this afternoon. Great stuff, great match, and Yun Sun-ae was the victor.